Hello friends, welcome to the podcast of The Stories We Heard. This is a podcast by Indian temples. In this podcast, we'll be talking about stories from Puranas and various folklores, and we will also discuss their significance in today's times. This is my first attempt at creating a podcast, so your support and feedback will be highly appreciated. While growing up in a religious Hindu family, I have heard many stories of Devas, Asuras, Devtas, Rakshasas. I have also grown up watching stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata and Vishnu Purana on television. One of those stories made a real mark on my mind, the story of Samudra Manthan. Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean, is one unique occasion when Devas and their arch enemies Asuras, both of them united for an important reason. Devas and Asuras churned the ocean in pursuit of the Amrut. The churning of the ocean was a result of curse by sage Durvasa. Once, while visiting Swarga, Durvasa offered a garland to Indra. Indra accepted the garland and showed his happiness by putting the garland on his elephant Airavata as an ornament. However, Airavat was irritated by the scent of the garland. He picked the garland with his trunk and threw it on the ground. Durvasa was very furious with this insult and he cursed Indra, and in fact he cursed all the Devas that they will lose their kingdom, power and glory. As a result, Indra's mighty Vahan instantly disappeared. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, could no longer stay in the same realm as the Devas, and she parted ways with her consort Vishnu. Lakshmi went into the depth of Kshirsagar and she made it her new home. Due to Lakshmi's absence in Devlok, the Devas lost all their riches and all the glory. Robbed of their power, the Devas were soon defeated by the Asuras in the battle. The defeated Devas then approached Lord Vishnu for a solution. Vishnu advised them that they should churn Kshirsagar to obtain Amrut. Amrut, or the elixir of immortality, would help the Devas regain their powers. The Asuras willingly offered to assist their half-brothers since they also wanted immortality and invincible powers by consuming the Amrut. Mount Mandara was used to churn the ocean, which was kept afloat in the ocean by Kurma, Vishnu's turtle avatar. The Naga king Vasuki became the churning rope. Several precious items or Ratnas emerged from the cosmic ocean, which were then distributed among the Devas, Asuras and the sages. Here, I don't want to talk about all the Ratnas that were discovered in the churning. Instead, I want to focus only on the first thing that emerged out of the churning. The first thing that emerged was Halahal. The Halahal was a deadly poison that had the potential to destroy all beings in the three realms. None among the armies of Asuras and Devas stepped in to stop the poison from spreading into the universe, because they feared the poison would destroy them as well. Lord Shiva then descended from Mount Kailash to consume the poison. Goddess Parvati, Shiva's consort, was very worried about this. She used her power to stop the Halahal in Shiva's throat, and as a result, his throat turned blue. Thus, he came to be called as Nilkanth. In modern days, do we ever do Samudra Manthan? In our corporate or social organizations, we need to churn out ideas using brainstorming sessions. It is very similar to the Samudra Manthan. And what is the first thing that comes out during brainstorming? The doubts, the negative comments, the questions. All these are not much different from the Halahal that appeared during the Samudra Manthan. Do you ever wonder why did Shiva had to consume the Halahal? Couldn't they just discard it? No, they couldn't. Because the Halahal would have destroyed the entire universe. Exactly the way our doubts and questions arising through the brainstorming can. You can't discard or ignore these. You need to consume these doubts to understand them. Only when you understand the questions and doubts is when you can achieve your goals. But what about the act of keeping Halahal only at the throat? Does that give a subtle message about how the doubts need to be tackled? Yes, it does. Even when Shiva consumed the Halahal, Parvati made sure that Halahal doesn't affect Shiva's body. We also need someone on our teams who can keep the Halahal at bay and does not let it affect the whole company or social organization. We need someone who can help settle these doubts at a point of no damage. Now, the most important question is, who is the Shiva in your company or social organization? Who is the one who can consume this Halahal and help everyone else go ahead with the churning out of the Ratnas from the brainstorming? In Vishnu Purana, there was only one Shiva who consumed the Halahal. But in today's scenario, Every one of us has to be the Shiva, because somewhere every single person needs to understand the doubts raising inside his mind and those coming from outside. So I wish every one of you to become Nilkanth, be the Nilkanth of your organization and take it on a path of progress. I hope you liked this podcast. Don't forget to give us your feedback on this podcast. Your honest opinion is most important to us. Let's meet next week with another story. Till then, Namaskar.